As Jesus was being led away, some soldiers grabbed hold of a man from Cyrene named Simon. He was coming in from the fields, but they put the cross on him and made him carry it behind Jesus. A large crowd was following Jesus, and in the crowd a lot of women were crying and weeping for him. Jesus turned to the women and said,
"Women of Jerusalem, don't cry for me. Cry for yourselves and for your children. Someday people will say, women who never had children are really fortunate. At that time, everyone will say to the mountains, 'Fall on us.' They will say to the hills, 'Hide us.' If this can happen when the wood is green, what do you think will happen when it is dry?"
2 criminals were led out to be put to death with Jesus. When the soldiers came to the place called the Skull, they nailed Jesus to the cross. They also nailed the 2 criminals to the crosses, one on each side of Jesus. Jesus said,
"Father, forgive these people. They don't know what they're doing."
While the crowd stood there watching Jesus, the soldiers gambled for his clothes. The leaders insulted him by saying,
"He saved others. Now he should save himself, if he really is God's chosen Messiah."
The soldiers made fun of Jesus and brought him some wine.
"If you are the King of the Jews, save yourself."
Above him was a sign that said, "This is the King of the Jews." One of the criminals hanging there also insulted Jesus by saying,
"Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and save us."
But the other criminal told the first one off.
"Don't you fear God? Aren't you getting the same punishment as this man? We got what was coming to us, but he didn't do anything wrong."
Then he said to Jesus,
"Remember me when you come into power. I promise that today you will be with me in paradise."
Around midday, the sky turned dark and stayed that way until the middle of the afternoon. The sun stopped shining, and the curtain in the temple split down the middle. Jesus shouted,
"Father, I put myself in your hands."
Then he died. When the Roman officer saw what had happened, he praised God and said,
"Jesus must really have been a good man."
A crowd gathered to see the terrible sight. Then after they had seen it, they felt broken-hearted and went home. All Jesus' close friends and the women who had come with him from Galilee stood at a distance and watched.